clearly, the environment needs to be protected. I believe that we're polluting the seas. There's too much plastic out there. Face masks are not helping. And clearly, we've got to look after the planet. But I'm a bit worried about the actions of Extinction Rebellion.
Yes, today, Mark, there was a video circulated of 7 women who were probably called Jacinta, Tabitha, Fenella, Arabella, Dipsy, Lala, and Poe. And they had congregated out of Barclays Bank, because we all love a good Barclays, don't we, Mark, on the high street? I know I do.
Especially in lockdown.
Especially in lockdown, darling. Anyway, they congregated to protest, as they do. They were very, very genteel about it, and they congregated, and they had little, honestly, they all looked like they were on an outing from The Guardian to a National Trust property. Do you know what I mean? And they'd got lost suddenly outside this bank.
That's
so they
right.
had their little, they had little hammers and I was going to say sickles, for it more appropriate, hammers and chisels that looked like they'd come from Toys R Us. And I'm not joking.
Was it Fisher Price? I think I saw a Fisher Price hammer.
Oh, was there a little Fisher Price? Yeah, little pink one. And one of them, it's hilarious, is like breaking the glass, because their slogan was, better to break glass than break promises. Yeah, fight the power, man.
Wow.
And anyway, they're chopping away. And one of them, I think Jacinta, at one point goes, oh, because of course she's never been around anyone who uses their hands to work on a daily basis, unless she calls the plumber in or something. I know that's when I get my hands dirty, but less of that. Anyway, so she's there, they're tapping away, and then they're protesting. And then, then what happened then? Sorry, I'm just looking at my little
Well,
notes.
it is hard to keep up, yeah.
And then a security guard turns up, doesn't do anything, and then they just, I think one of them actually at one point does say in the video, "Can you get my bag? It's behind the pillar," to a policeman who's sort of doubling up as obviously the bellboy getting the bag, and then 2 of them, Fenella and Popo, whatever, Fenella and Dipsy.
These names are getting better.
I'm just making it up as I go along. Can you tell? And
welcome to Talk Radio. You blend in here.
Good. They're put in the back of the van, Mark, and it's hysterical because the back of the police van looks like a conservatory from an Alan Ayckbourn play. And there's 2 of them sitting there going, and you literally expect them to go, can we have a cup of tea and a biscuit at least? They're there sort of, and you just think, oh my God, they're trying to sort of, stop the planet warming by wearing Bowden and breaking glass outside a bank. It was honestly, it made my day. I thought it was fantastic.
But also,
it
is an example, isn't it? I'm afraid of the police taking a different view of some protesters compared to others. And last time I checked, smashing a window of a building is criminal damage. But watching this footage, it didn't look like the police were treating it in that way. I mean, I know they were sort of bundled off in a van, but as they committed these crimes, there was no ruckus whatsoever.
No, not at all. It was really weird. It was like, part of me thought, is this real? Is this basically legs akimbo? Is this an acting? Had they basically not got into drama school and this was all a group of 7 women who'd gone, I know, wouldn't it be fun? It's really boring in lockdown. Let's just go out, have a bottle of rosé, meet up, 7 of us, wear masks, and just make a bit of trouble outside a bank. It was really weird. It was like it was performative. There's another problematic and performative.
Well, these people did look like they could afford the extra costs of going green, which so many of my listeners will be bankrupted by, not to mention the cost to the state of so many of these objectives. And look, I am a green person and I really worry about the environment, and we must look after the world that we've inherited, Abi, for future generations. But this is not the way to go about it. And if you're going to have a protest, perhaps you should leave a country which has a remarkable set of credentials when it comes to green and renewable energy. And why don't these ladies, after lockdown, go to China, Brazil, India, or perhaps the USA and start smashing up buildings there? Because that is what real pollution looks like.
I would love to see them in China having a go at they wouldn't last very long. And also the really weird thing is that, I think we've got something like, since history began, more trees are planted than has ever been planted, like something in their trillions. We've got technology which is being developed in case of warming or cooling, whichever way you want to do it. And you think to yourself, well, who's going to pay for these? Who's going to pay for this technology? Oh, I know, it'll probably be the capitalists who pay for it. you see what I mean? So it's like, I don't really know what their objectives are. Maybe they should go and pick up some litter in their local park.
Well, you will find that a lot of these people that are campaigning for Extinction Rebellion are also the ones that want pay rises for everyone in the public sector, that want to expand the welfare state and the size of the state. All of that's going to cost money. And if you pursue the green policies, in an unthinking way to the extreme, you'll wreck the economy. There won't be any of those things.
Yes, precisely. And this is what annoys me about the 7 women. I mean, they really did look. People watch the video because you just go, oh, come on. Meanwhile, men and women of this country are on furlough. They are desperate to get back to some, semblance of normality. They're very short on money. And I think it's just I don't know if I can use this word. It's after 6:30. It's a piss take. It's a piss take. Seriously.
Well, I do think it is a slap in the face to many millions who are going to be struggling economically after this pandemic. Let's talk briefly, Abi, about the next generation, because a farmer who rose to fame as the Yorkshire Shepherdess has said parents are to blame for creating a snowflake generation of useless children. This is Amanda Owen, a Hill farmer. I think she's got 9 kids, but she's not happy about the next generation. What do you think?
I'm not surprised she's not happy. She's had to squeeze out 9 kids. I always say to myself, when I read this story, I did think of the 4 Yorkshiremen sketch. Do you know what I mean? The Monty Python.
Absolutely.
It's a bit like, hey, when I was a lad, we lived for 3 months in a rolled up newspaper in a septic tank. It's that kind of thing. And although I do admire her a lot, because I think, especially with 9 kids, they live on a farm. I haven't actually watched the programme, but I will. It sounds fascinating.
Yeah.
And they live on a farm, and she believes, doesn't she, that children should, have resilience and get out there. But it did worry me a bit that she, I think 6-year-old Sydney, her little boy, in one of the episodes, is mending farm machinery. I'm not sure I'd go that far. I can see that's not going to end very well, is it, when little Sydney ends up, with no hand. So I would say probably be a little bit careful with that. But I think her point about resilience and teaching young people, how to just not be offended all the time. I mean, I think that's the thing as well. Where did that come from? I mean, my parents were terribly offensive. And look how I turned out okay. Some people would say not, but and I just think, do you know the thing I was thinking that's really missing now? And I don't know, because I'm not a mom, but I've got nephews. I really think sitting down at the dinner table and all together having a meal and saying, how was your day? What was obviously now it'll probably be, well, how was your day? Because we were in the same house for 24 hours. But normally, in a normal time, you could say, couldn't you, how was your school day? What do you think of this political situation? And then you sort of build up this little, I don't know, a little reserve, I suppose. Whereas now it's nobody's sitting together.
I completely agree. Everyone's isolated, and little Johnny goes to his room with the iPad or the laptop. And I wonder whether we just need to raise kids in a realistic way that makes them understand that life is dangerous and unpredictable, and people have got different opinions. And you're really going to have your wits about you as you navigate the world. As human beings, we've had to for generation after generation for 3 million years. And you do a great disservice to children by wrapping them, Abi, in cotton wool. Now, listen, Big Steve, the producer of the show, needs me to get to the break because we got to make some money, because we're not the BBC, Abi. We don't take money out of the pockets of pensioners. We are paid for by advertising. But just a quick thought, a moment, please. You were on Good Morning Britain. Was it Monday?
I was on Monday, yes, talking to the lovely Edwina Curry.
Right. Now, you were on that show, which, of course, they've effectively, constructively dismissed Piers Morgan a few weeks ago. Their ratings have gone through the floor, although I'm sure they had a little bit of a fillip when you came on. You just observed. So you went on to talk about vaccine passports. And could you just tell me your experience on that? Because you've spoken on social media about how surprised you were in terms of the balance of the debate.
Yes, exactly, Mark. Thank you so much for raising that. I went on, I'd had warnings from a couple of people, that just be careful, because it may not be, you may be kebabbed. Yeah, I love that phrase. Yeah. So I went on, did my thing. And I think Edwina was her eyes were like this, slightly surprised that, that a comedian was sort of, I suppose, giving her a good run for her money. Anyway, so when I finished, the doctor,
Hillary Jones? Hillary Jones?
No, it wasn't Hillary Jones. It was somebody else, another guy, made comments, but only at me, if you know what I mean. negatively about me, and Edwina got a free pass because and they all of them. There were four, obviously there were 1, 2, 3, 4, me, including me, and they all agreed with each other, and I was the odd one out, who wants people's basic freedoms back.
Yeah, and you felt like the pariah. Weird. You felt like the stranger in the room. Long may you continue to share your views, and you'll never be frozen out of any debate here on Talk Radio, Abi.